Some people pass through your life like shadows. You barely notice them. Others saw you think about them when you wake up. You check your phone hoping they've messaged. You find yourself smiling at the thought of them. That's not luck. That's not magic. That's psychology. And today I'm going to show you how it works. What you're about to hear can't change how people see you forever. Not just how they like you, but how they can't stop thinking about you. We're talking about obsession, the kind that makes someone wait for your texts, reread your old conversations, and get a little rush every time you appear. These are psychological triggers, subtle, invisible, but powerful. They work because they touch the deepest human weak points, the parts of us we can't switch off. And once you learn to find these weak points, now you can make Simeon's mind wrap around you like a magnet. I'm going to give you 7 of them, and I'll warn you now, these are intense. You can use them to build a deep, meaningful connection or to manipulate. That choice is yours. 1. The difference between liking you and being obsessed. There's a huge gap between someone liking you and someone being obsessed with you. When someone likes you, they enjoy your company. They think you're in us. They might even call you a friend. But obsession, that's a constant mental presence. They're thinking about you when they're busy. They're wondering how you're doing. They feel the urge to reach out even when they try not to. This shift happens when you trigger emotional imprinting. That means you vetted a nerve so deeply that the difference between liking and obsession, become tied to a specific emotion in your mind. It could be excitement. It could be comfort. It could be curiosity. The trick is to make sure you are the source of that emotion and to do it repeatedly. Think about it. Why do some people stay in our head? Maybe they made you feel understood when no one else did. Maybe they made you laugh in a way that lifted your whole day. Or maybe they gave you a sense of mystery you couldn't solve. Whatever it is, they gave you a feeling that stuck. You're going to use the same principle. You don't aim to make every moment with Eunice nice is forgettable. You aim to make certain moments unforgettable. You and emotional spikes. The small, sharp experiences that make someone's brain spotting their weak point file you under special. Here's the catch. You can't force this with constant attention. If you flood someone with the novelties. Obsession needs space to breathe. You give them the rush, then you step back, leaving them hungry for the next thing. That's the foundation of every point we're going to cover. 2. Spotting their weak point. Everyone has one, the crack in the wall where your influence can slip in. The fastest way to find it, watch for thespics. Imagine someone's mood as a flat line when you're talking. Steady voice, steady interest. Then you mention a topic and suddenly they lean in. Their voice changes, their eyes light up, or maybe they repeat something they said, hoping for a stronger reaction from you. That's your signal. You've hit something personal. It might be pride in an achievement. It might be a buried insecurity. It might be a hidden desire. Once you notice it, you don't ignore it. You circle it like a shark around blood. Ask small, open questions about it. Let them talk. Let them feel heard. And the more they reveal, the more you understand how to tie yourself to that emotion. Don't rush this stage in because if you misread a weak point, you'll waste your effort. But when you spot it right, the rest of the process becomes effortless. 3. The first weak point, thirst for validation. Some people need to feel important the way they need the air. They constantly. The first weak point, thirst for validation to prove they're special through stories, achievements, looks, or the people they've dated. Most people respond with direct compliments or wow, that's amazing. But that kills the effect almost instantly. The key is indirect validation. Instead of telling them, you're impressive, you make them overhear it or piece it together themselves. For example, if they run 6 miles a day, don't react right away. Later, tell them, I was talking to a friend about you. He didn't believe you could run that much. Now, you've appraised them without begging for approval, and the praise feels more real because it came from others. Validation. Junkies get hooked on people who make them feel admired without looking like they are trying. That's why indirect praise works like a drug. For the second weak point, fear of failure. High achievers, dreamers, ambitious people. The second weak point, fear of failure. They live with a shadow over their shoulder, the fear that they might not make it. When they open up about it, don't rush to give advice. That's what a else does. Instead, you give reassurance. You tell them real or believable stories of people who faced the same struggle and succeeded. You make them feel capable without lecturing. The more they associate you with hope and emotional safety, the more they'll seek you out when doubt creeps in. That's obsession fuel. 5. The third weak point, emotional. The third weak point, emotional wounds. Wounds, rejection, betrayal, public embarrassment. If someone carries a wound like this, it shapes how they see themselves. You don't just patch it with, "You're amazing." That's empty. You guide them to see the wound differently. If someone was rejected, you subtly reframe it so they realize it wasn't about them being unworthy. You give them perspective without saying "I did right." They'll remember you as the person who helped them feel whole again, and that's a bond they won't want to break. 6. The fourth weak point, desire. Desire isn't just physical. It's the space between wanting and having. And the secret to making someone obsessed is keeping that space alive. You give small tastes, attention, charm, energy, then you pull back. Too much too soon kills the chase. Mystery keeps the mind turning, imagining, craving. This isn't about playing games, and it's about pacing the connection so the interest never burns out. 7. The cycle of addiction. When you hit someone's weak point, you give them an emotional high. That high fades and they want more. But their brain remembers you are the source. That's how obsession forms. The repeated cycle of emotional spikes followed by withdrawal. Over time, you become a habit, and habits are hard to break. Use this carefully. You're playing with emotions that can change how someone sees themselves and you. But if you do it with integrity, you can create a connection so deep they feel magnetic. If you want me to break down more of these psychological triggers in future videos, let me know in the comments. And remember, it's not about the fourth weak point.